It's the hurt business they're in, but he's got to get in there, he's got to show what he's all about, and he's got to be the boss. But that's a hard thing to do with Usyk. Usyk's a great fighter.
Let's talk about how much he's improved since that first fight. He's on an absolute tear, Daniel is, and yeah, he wants to right that wrong from last time.
He's a totally different fighter, isn't he? When I say a different fighter, he's got a confidence and air about him. I know he's always had the power. He's been in some good fights. If you look at his record and look at the guys he's fought at his age, it's amazing. Compared with a lot of heavyweights when they start out, look at the amount of fights he's had and what other fighters have done. He's fought at a very, very high level. And his last 3 fights, he's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. The power that he's shown, the boxing ability, the grit, the determination to come through the fights. And he's done it in fabulous, fabulous style. He's an exciting fighter. He's never in a boring fight. Every fight he has is an exciting fight. And this one is the big one.
What does Joseph Parker? What does Daniel need to do differently in this rematch?
Win it.
And how do you think he can go about doing that?
How do I think? He's got to go out there. He's got to get behind his jab. He's got to let his bombs go, and he's got to be the boss. And if he's the boss, and if he can sustain that, I think he can come through and stop him.
What are your thoughts on Usyk offering his team a 4v4 fight outside the arena?
I'm meeting them afterwards. We're going to sort it out between all of us. Daniel's, as I say, he's matured. He's shared the ring. He knows what's in front of him, and he knows what he's got to do. And he knows now that he can do it. He believes he can do it, as I do.
Talk for Joseph Parker.
It's Unified Heavyweight World Championship, UK soil, and Queensbury's hosting it. Talk to us about that.
It's just a brilliant moment for me. It's a proud moment as a promoter that we've done it. It's the first time ever. This is history. This is not just boxing history. This is British sporting history. And I want Daniel to come through, and as I said earlier on, he will then etch his name in British sport, being the first guy to ever hold the 4 belts and to do it on British soil.
There was a lot of conversations about Joseph Parker, maybe revisiting that fight with Daniel. Obviously he's with yourselves. Any talks on what's next for Joseph? Is there a chance he could feature in this card?
The WBO have made him the mandatory, so the winner of this fight has to defend against him. Instead of fighting Daniel, if we'd have carried on with that fight, for 1 belt, he now fights for the 4 belts. He fights the winner for the 4 belts. He's in a great position. In the meantime, we'll put him in a fight and keep him going.
What do you think of Eubank Ben?
I thought it was an excellent fight. I thought it was a really good fight. It was they'd done themselves and their families proud, and really, for me, showed what they were all about.
Conor says he thought he should have won it by a round. How did you have it scored?
I thought Conor at a stage of the fight was a couple of rounds in front, and then I felt at the end of the fight that Chris won it by a couple of rounds. He won the last 2 rounds. That's what did it, and that's when the size mattered in the last couple of rounds.
Rematch too much for you?
I'm not really interested in that. It's not my business.
There's been talks. You can't talk heavyweight without talking Tyson Fury. He posted a video of him on Sugar Hill training.
Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with Tyson?
No, I haven't. I'm glad to see he's training.
Frank, do you think the momentum of Daniel, the momentum he's on going into this fight is far superior than the one he was on in the first fight? Do you think that'll play a massive part?
Yeah, because he's been in with a better quality opposition and he's got experience. Listen, he went in with, going in with Usyk, he lost the fight, but he hurt him. Whatever way you want to look at it, he hurt him, and he's learned from that. I'm telling you, this next fight's going to be totally different.
And there was a lot of going around online. Obviously, I think you got the photo in your hand.
No, just give it to me. This is from the Sun newspaper.
Talk us through the shot
well,
from
look,
the first fight, Frank.
There it is. That is on the belt. It's not below the belt, and it's not the belt. It's the navel. You look at the record. You've got to look at the rules. The rules is the navel. So if you get a guy who puts his shorts up there, that doesn't count. It's where your navel is. And somebody said, but you look at it, comes from down there. Yeah, he's brought the shot up. It's where it connects that counts. Anyway, that's what it is.
He could have just sailed off into sunset. Pretty much.
He's a fighting man. He's a fighting man. They asked for the fight. He fancies it big time. Both of these fighters fancy it. This is going to be a great fight. And the reason it's going to be a great fight is because Usyk is a great fighter, and Daniel believes he can beat him. He believes that the referee didn't do him any justice last fight. But all that's in the past. on the night he thinks he's going to be the better fighter, and we're going to find out.
We saw obviously yesterday Daniel give Alexander a shove as well. Do you think that kind of that aggression from Daniel will be good or bad in regards to Usyk coming back in?
We'll find out, won't we, on the 19th?
You mentioned Eubank and Benn before. How much respect do you have for Eubank Jr. now after going through a war like that? Because I know you...
Respect for all fighters that get in the ring. It's not about in the ring, it's how much respect he shows outside the ring. And outside of the ring, he's been a prick.
Frank, if we do see Tyson back in the ring, will it be the Anthony Joshua fight, or is there a possibility he could fight the winner of Usyk and Dubois? Obviously, you promote both men. Tyson hasn't said to me or anybody at the moment that he's coming back to fight. He's trained, and he always has a glint in his eye if he wants to come back, and if he does come back. Listen, he's a former two-time world champion. He was in 2 very, very close fights with Usyk. I thought he won one of them. Definitely won one of them, in my opinion. But that's gone and that's done and dusted. And if he comes back, and he is what he is. He's a great fighter.
Is there a rematch clause for this fight?
I can't. It's a confidential contract. I can't tell you. Let's see what happens.
On Daniel Dubois, with everything he's sort of achieved over the last 12 months, how much of an inspiration has he been to all the fighters and the upcoming fighters in Britain? Yeah.
Daniel's an inspiration because he got some unfair stick over in certainly in one of his fights, and he's shown what he's all about. He's gritted his teeth, come back, and he's the IBF world champion. Against good fighters, beating good fighters.
Can I just get a word? I believe Hamza Shiraz now moving up to 168, and the fight that's meant to be mentioned is Edgar Berlanga. Any words on that particular fight? How do you think that will play out for him in terms of his first test?
I believe he'll win it, but it's a tough fight. And he's going up a weight. We'll see. I think it'll suit him, the weight.
And is that a possible avenue then for obviously the Canelo Alvarez fight that a lot of people are talking about?
Let's hope so.
Would you rather him fight Canelo or Eubank if he comes through Berlanga?
Either.
What are the next steps for Derek Chisora? Because he was supposed to fight Daniel Dubois.
Chisora is the WBC mandatory.
So will he get the winner of this fight?
No, because the next one in is the WBO, as I said earlier.
Frank, do you think we're going to get another 5v5 versus Matchroom?
Yes.
When is that going to happen?
I don't know, but I'm hoping to get it on soon.
What fighter would you like to have on that 5 versus 5?
What fighter?
Yeah, what fighter? So pick your new 5.
I've got lots of fighters on to put in there. I've just got lots of guys who can fight on there.
When you look at the Queensberry roster right now, is this the strongest you feel like it has been for a very long time?
For a long time it is, yeah. But it's all about investment. Guys that we invested in and brought them through over the years. Daniel, 9 years ago. Moses, 3.5 years ago. It didn't happen just in the last year.
Can I just get a word on British boxing in general? Obviously, like you said, yourselves and Eddie probably are the top 2 guys when it comes to boxing promoters, but just a word on British boxing and how it is right now.
Boxing is not broken, it's on a high. We've got this show. Well, you got the show last week, sold out. You got the show that we did, our first show on DAZN up in Manchester. Great fights, fabulous fights. You've got we're doing a show with Fabio in Ipswich against Blade Miller. Unbelievable fight, really, really going well to tickets. We're in Scotland. We've got up there a fantastic fight with Josh and with Echo. Brilliant fight between the two of them. Fabulous undercard, nigh on sold out. We're in Nottingham. Anto Kakashi going to Nottingham to fight Lee Wood. What a great fight that is. Nigh on sold out. Again with a great undercard. We've got this on the 19th of July. It ain't bad.
Can we get an update on Wally Miller, please, and when the undercard's going to be out for that?
It will be, I'm hoping it's all going to be out by the end of the week.
And I spoke to Denzel Bentley yesterday, obviously after everything had kind of come out about the sparring and stuff like that. He's hoping to be out soon. Could he potentially be on the undercard of this?
I'm not sure he's going to be on there, but he'll certainly be fighting soon.
And who would you like him to fight?
Who?
Who would you like him to fight? He wants Eubank.
I'd love him to fight Eubank, but he won't fight him, that's for sure.
Denzel won't fight him, or Eubank won't fight Denzel?
Fight him.
Okay.
Talking about heavyweights, do you think Caballero could be a silent killer in a division?
He's a very good fighter. He's a great heavyweight. He's done everything that's been asked of him. And he showed he's got a lot of grit getting off the floor as he did against Zhang.
Could we see him against Dubois soon?
Yeah, all these fights that had to be made.
Is that a fight you'd like to see be made?
I just want to see all these guys fight each other. That's what we're doing. We're making these fights happen. But they can only fight one at a time.
What's next for Joe Joyce? Is he going to be fighting again?
Joyce, I don't know. I still haven't managed to sit down with him yet. We'll sit down and we'll have a chat. I spoke to his manager, Adam Morley, and we're looking to get together soon.
Final one for me, Frank. Eddie gave an outstanding promo for Eubank Benn. Can you do the exact same for this particular fight to sell it?
What?
He did a promotional video for Eubank Benn. Can you give us a promo to sell this fight?
19th of July, Wembley Stadium, history in the making. The first time ever the British... Sorry, start again. 19th of July, Wembley Stadium, history in the making. The first time the three belt... Fucking hell, let's go.
Can we keep that? We'll take it out at the end and go for it.
You better take it. Wembley Stadium, 19th of July. Unification, 4 belts on the line. The heavyweight division. It's never happened before. Can Daniel Dubois beat the best of his generation in Usyk? Can he do that? If he does, can he become the first guy, the first Brit to hold all those titles? Find out and see. Watch it. 19th of July, Wembley. Be there or be square.
One more question, guys.